All right, traders, welcome in. I'm pretty stoked to be looking at the market today because I was in Bitcoin longs up here and I closed them yesterday, right in here, and price is way down. And I'm in shorts. I'm in a Pepe short, which hasn't moved so much in my favor. I'm in an XRP short, which has moved a decent amount in my favor. I'm in a Luna short, which is working pretty great. I'm in a Rose short, which hasn't really moved so much. I'm in a CFX short. I'm not. I closed the CFX short in profit, right in here. And I'm glad I did because I would have been stopped out for a loss. I was in a Flocky short and I closed this short. And I just didn't really love how it was looking. And I decided I think I closed right in here. Just shift risk to something else. So yeah, everything's up today. So we got to evaluate all the positions. I'm going to try to not spend too much time on, here because I want to do something else, but we're seeing a red day on basically every risk asset. JP225 is up, and a possible sell signal on EU50 actually. Silver gave a short signal on this day, so let's go to crypto. Big sell off in Bitcoin. Not surprising. I still really like being a buyer in this region, so I'm going to evaluate that. And same thing with ETH. We haven't tapped those levels, but we're getting there. And this could just fall through, but I think it's pretty likely we get a good bounce here, on both Bitcoin and ETH. So I'm going to stick to that plan. We're not that far away from it. Could just fall through much further. We'll see. I'm going to have to, look at the various positions. BNB gave this danger signal up here. It took a while to give out, but to me that was pretty concerning. Total 3, XRP, others. Yeah. Um, so let's go take a look at the various scenarios and see. But yeah, I'm in all these trades. It might make sense to add a new position. But yeah, I guess the one losing position I have is BNX long. I did take one long on this one because it gave a possible signal. Um, yeah, I feel like at least locally, it's relatively strong, but I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. Again, yeah, there's an adventure I want to go on today, so I'm gonna try to not spend too much time on this and just waiting for my level. I need to look at all my positions though, so what do I have? I'll look at BNX, Pepe, I have a lot. Flocky, Rose. How many shorts? And XRP. Yeah, I have so many trades. Would prefer to not add Flocky, and Rose. Prefer to not be adding. If anything, taking risk off. Um, so let's start by taking a look, seeing what happened. And I like to look at the aggregate. So for ETH, CBD. So I'm just getting set up and then we're going to run through a lot of order flow for different charts. I think it might be okay to close BNX as a short as a loss if it's closing under the level. Or likely to close under the level. Okay, everything's set up for me to just rip through a bunch of charts now. So we'll see the funding rate for Bitcoin. Yo, it doesn't look good. Actually, it's super long. People are longing this. So yeah, definitely not wanting to enter right here. We see the aggregate funding rate is really high, so um, we want to stay short the market right now. I'm interested in buying lower, but I'm maybe interested in lowering my bids too, because what has happened here is, yeah, it looks like spot has sold off, and in theory there's been liquidation, but the reality is I think there's a lot of limit longs that got filled here because the funding rate is just getting higher. Um, we have had some open interest cleaned out, but this doesn't look like a place to be long. I do like from order flow, it doesn't look like a place to be long. I'm gonna stay trying to get in down here, and I'm gonna tell you why. Funding rate is super high. There's still a lot of open interest that can be shaken out on everything. So let's take a look here. It's loading slow. As far as the chart goes, um, this is a possible place for a bounce. There is this little 4-hour gap here, and there's also this, where did price come into? Exactly into this. But for price to come down this far, it would very much surprise me to not take any kind of a low, right? Which it hasn't. It has come back into an order block area, but why would it not take a low? Um, yeah, open interest is roughly staying the same, but yeah, with the funding rate, I like leaving it alone. Just go ahead and look at ETH. ETH's in an area that I marked on the chart, and I do want to note that I had this short idea, which wouldn't have filled, but short from right up here and target this area, or at least one of these lows. Didn't fill. We filled this gap. This one gave through, and we're now in this 4-hour gap right here. So this is for sure places where price could bounce, but just based on the funding rate and increasing open interest and a little bit of spot, ETH looks a little bit stronger. I'm a fan of leaving it alone for now. So I'm gonna leave my orders where I had them. And we'll see. So let's look at BNX. Funding is still negative. Actually, we saw a little bit of spot buying. Like, what's happening with the open interest clearing out here? It's like shorts covering. But you see, open interest has been going up with funding going down. So much of this has been shorts. So I kind of like the idea of leaving my short hedge. It's also acting strong right at the moment. And if I lose, I lose. So let's leave that one alone. Let's look at Pepe. Pepe still looks good to me. There's a lot of open interest still. And this whole move up, yeah. So I like Pepe. Ripple, love it. I knew that this one would work well. This was such an obvious money one, and I kind of wish I had risked more. Like this whole move up was just insane leverage. Not that much is cleared out. I would even want to add to this possibly, but I'm gonna look for what else there is, but definitely want to leave that one alone. Flocky looks. I'm not in Flocky anymore. I'm in Luna, so I'm gonna leave this one alone. Luna. Come back to that. I'm in Rose, which looks fine. It's sort of harder to interpret because of the low liquidity, but funding is high, spot's been selling out, and open interest is cranked pretty high. Okay, I need the whole picture here. So we're in Luna, spots selling off. We still have jacked up everything, so yeah, I like leaving those. Um, I want to take risk off though, and do it by advancing my stops. Pepe I'll leave alone, but let's do that. And then I'm gonna look to see if there's anything else that I can add here. Okay. Okay. So mostly looks pretty good. Pepe, I'm gonna leave my stop alone. XRP, I'm gonna advance my stop. XRP looks pretty good for continuation. I'm gonna see if there's any more shorts that it signaled. Okay, I'm advancing my stop. Luna looks. Oh, I think targeting there is pretty reasonable. Don't need to try to aim for forever. Stop at 0.4666. All my decisions from yesterday pretty much worked out great. Then Rose. Zero 0.8395. I'm not really taking much off on that. And then I'm gonna leave BNX for now. Probably will be a loss. I could actually close it, like it lost this level, so in theory, from a chart perspective, the signal is gone. The funding though, the funding scenario here, yeah, I want to leave, stick with the aim for the lower on Bitcoin and ETH. It's possible that we puke this thing as well. Like I want to pay attention to the golden pocket, but I have these areas marked out for a reason. I didn't want to go lower than 61,900 on Bitcoin. I mean, I guess there's a possibility ETH goes to a new low from here, right? But I would be very surprised if we didn't put up a big fight in this area. It's possible we don't, but I would be surprised. Okay, now I want to look at some others to see Sheeb, yeah, I knew Sheeb was a good short when someone in my feed, my Facebook feed is like, Sheeb. Okay. I want to see if there's anything that signaled today. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna leave everything and do nothing. I don't need to put on a new trade. I do want to add because it's working. Oh, I think I'll close BN next probably. I think that's something I'm probably gonna do. Probably no signals here. We have one. Nice. Okay, it's ENA. Uh, there were so many shorts. Uh, so we found one, which is Ethereum name service. And let's look at this on MEXC is always what I want. Oh, does it not have it? No, we do have it. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look. I really, if anything, I want to add to the Ripple short, but it's already, nah, I mean, it was better before. Okay, I see funding is very positive. I want to see it jacked up open interest. Yeah, I mean, it went from 66 to 144, and there was spot buying, but funding is positive, and it went from 60 to 144. So I'm gonna take this and probably close BNX, and then wait for the Bitcoin. So I might run my stop over here, and then for Athena, I want to look for some major liquidation, at least a couple moves down. Let's look at it on the 4 hour. This one, we could at least go 2 moves down, which would be down to here. Aiming, I kind of like aiming for the weekly low. So the question is if I want to run the stop wide, 1 ATR, or if I want to run it at the high. We already created gap. We already have created gaps, so I think I'll run it at the high. And yeah, BNX is actually acting strong, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm gonna add to ETA, and then ENA, I'm gonna leave my Bitcoin long from down here. So my only trade is going to be on ENA. And I'm gonna leave everything else open. 9:30, 24, ENA, short, MTP market. I mean, yeah, there's just so many MTP markets, and I'm floating profits. Uh, okay, so let's do it. There's plenty of liquidity as well. 0.418, something like that. I'm gonna put it past these 1 hour gaps, just inside the high. 0.417. ENA 0.417. A size. A little bit more. That's good. And we'll target down here at 0.2667. Okay. And everything kind of looking pretty good. So that's it for today. We'll let these trades play out and see what happens. And maybe we get filled on Bitcoin down here. We'll see. I do have a lot of short risk on, but I'm happy to continue holding it right now. ETH's in a place where it could bounce. Same with Bitcoin, but it's sort of unlikely that it doesn't work its way to take some of these lows and get rebid in here. So I'm not going to chase it. All right, happy trading, y'all. Much love. Peace.